Starting today, many school districts welcome back school athletes and some faculty back to campus, but they are faced with a new normal and unforeseen future. Athens School Superintendent Trey Holladay joins us now. Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Glad to be here.
What is the situation with your district? Have athletes in your school returned to practices?
They have, we've given them the parameters in which to work, and the coaches are trying to meet the needs of the kids as well as trying to meet the social distancing guidelines. So it's a challenge somewhat, but they're doing a real good job. I went out to workouts this morning with Coach Gross, and Coach Gross has got them on the field, with a good distance in there. He's got a plan to bring in 6 different groups at different times. We have 2 weight rooms that they're able to use for just football. And then our other sports to be able to use the 3rd weight room that we have to make sure that we maintain everything we need to protect our kids.
This is a big adjustment for the students as well. How are they dealing with this?
Well, probably a lot better than the adults are. Like most things, kids are a lot more residual than the adults. The one thing that was funny that Coach told me this morning is, he said, we're out here practicing all the social distancing, the things that the guidelines and the Alabama Department of Health and AHSA expect us. And he said, then I see a tweet from them where they all go off together and go to a restaurant and pile up in the same booth. So that's not deterring us from what we're supposed to do, but we're trying to make sure the kids understand, even when you leave here, you still need to practice those things to make sure you protect yourself.
If a student athlete does test positive, how will your district handle the situation?
Well, we would put them on a 14-day quarantine from anybody and make sure they had a negative test before that they came back. And of course, anybody they had contact with, we would require them to do the same. So that we're just following exactly what the state asked us to do from the Department of Public Health and the State Superintendent's Office of the Alabama Department of Education and then the AHSA. So we're definitely not trying to circumvent anything. We're trying to do what's acceptable there. The big thing is just from the right thing to do for kids is making sure that we do those things. And then from the legal side of things, as long as we're doing what we're supposed to do, and if somebody does come in contact, we've done everything we're supposed to do. So, we're trying to protect the district as well as our kids first, and protect the district and the schools second.
Right now, what's your plan for the fall semester?
Well, Dr. Mackey has given some guidelines and some guidance on what they expect. Of course, we're waiting for the governor and for the Department of Public Health to kind of release after July 4th where they think we are. But we're working already to put multiple layers of things together. We're actually having a cabinet meeting in the morning to discuss the instructional side of handling things. Of course, our school system is very blessed and we're a one-to-one school system from kindergarten through 12th grade. And we already had our virtual school and blended school with Athens Renaissance in place for the 5 years. So it's nothing new for us to deal with it. What we're really trying to make sure of is that if we're in full face-to-face, or if we're in a blended mode, or if we're in full virtual, we think these things will happen throughout this next school year. And how will we deal with it? Because, if you got some parents that don't want their kids coming back to school, but yet they may change their mind 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks into the school year, how are you going to make sure those kids are on the same playing field as the ones who've been face-to-face? And those that may want to stay virtual the full year, that you're making sure that they're receiving the same education as those that aren't.
Have you discussed a contingency plan if, for instance, there is another flare-up of the coronavirus in the fall?
We've discussed it, but we don't know that if we're going to have hard, fast rules that says you can't do this or do that. What we're expecting is, and kind of what we're hearing in conversation with the State Department is that, this year everybody went on the same pathway. So if you had no cases or you had 100 cases, you dealt with it the same way. Next year, what we expect to see is if, Southwest Alabama, Southeast Alabama has a flare up, that area may go on virtual. but we may stay on face-to-face, if you want to stay there.
Superintendent Holladay, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.